he's been coming out here the past few months, and he's been very persistent that this is something that he wanted to do for you all. And I said, well, we do honor, we have quite a few veterans here in our community. About a third of our community is a veteran spouse or their husband served in the military. So it was an easy group to gather, and it took a little time because it needed to be coordinated accordingly. And the real, yes.
And we got it done.
We got it done in 2 minutes as well. But let me have Mr. Lund tell you a little bit about who he is and who he is representing.
Thank you, ma'am. As you said, my name is Wayne Lund. I served 22 years active duty, and then I got recalled to Desert Storm for 6 months after I retired. I retired as a Sergeant First Class, 100% disabled veteran. I spent time with the Purple Hearters and the DAV, and some time with my family. And I do a lot of time out here with the Grunt Museum. I don't know if you've all heard of it now. It's called Vietnam Army Grunt Museum. In fact, the shirt I'm wearing with this combat infantry badge on it and combat infantry on the sleeve, it says Vietnam Army Grunt Museum. This shirt comes from the museum. In fact, I have, yes ma'am.
Yours in your hand, so.
I have some shirts and hats that I'm going to be passing out after the luncheon if any.
Served it all over the world at 2 overseas assignments. One in one in the Philippines, one in Taiwan. And I served as originally I went in during the Korean War and served as an enlisted man first. I was a clerk typist. I got out and then came back in. And then I served as a judge advocate. And I was a staff judge advocate at Peace Air Force Base and at Tainan Air Base. So also a staff judge advocate. And then I served, my last assignment was at the physical evaluation board here at Lackland Air Force Base.
My name is John Andrew Ortha. I served at Lackland Air Force Base as a training instructor in the Korean War, or the end.
My name is Dave Statham. I served at the end of the Korean War. I was stationed at Lackland Air Force Base near basic training. Then was sent over to the Far East. Spent 30 months over in Japan, Far East Air Force headquarters. I was a top secret operator for the general, the recruiter.
I was at Lackland Air Force Base as a second lieutenant, first lieutenant, and reserve captain, and at Randolph Air Force Base as a reserve captain for
Robert Bucher was my name, and I'm the old man around here. I was a navigator on B-24, where I went down twice, captured the second time, ended the war as POW for 7 months, and then I stayed in the service after that time, put in 27 years, and I had been an officer during the war. I wanted to do something more, so I reverted to enlisted status, and I stayed enlisted the rest of my time in the service.
I was in the Air Force as a electronics officer. I started out on ground radar, and then I went into several years of classified assignments. I was also a missile control officer, missile launch control officer, and I worked for headquarters as a, what do we call that? Did a lot of research into electronics, radars, and that kind of thing. That's what I did. I was stationed in the North Atlantic. That's where I did my overseas tour.
22 years active duty in the Army. I was stationed in Berlin for 2 years. I was in Korea during the time the Crew of the Pueblo was released. And I had 2 tours in Germany with spouses. She took care of the kids while I was overseas, and she was every bit a part of my military service.
I served with him at 22 years right out of high school. Came first to San Antonio out of basic training and fell in love with San Antonio. And then we had 2 tours in Germany. Our oldest son was born in Berlin, Germany, and our youngest son was born in North Carolina, where we were for 11 years.
I was stationed in Korat, Thailand, and flew EB-66s with the B-52 raids, jamming radars. And prior to that, I flew 141s in and out of the country quite often.
Something that he didn't mention is that there was a rescue that he was involved with, and a movie was made out of it, and it was really good. I saw the movie and I thought, oh, that's your part in that rescue service. Apollo 13? Oh yeah. Well, anyway, he's had a couple of interesting rescues and missions, and I had a good life with him.
Well, my husband Donald served in South Korea and Vietnam in '68 when they entered Center. And we had a beautiful 20 years in the Army. We really enjoyed it.
I have 5 people who are veterans. Daddy in World War I, 4 engineers, 2 brothers in the Navy radar, training, Great Lakes, and all that. And then 2 husbands, one the Navy and one the Army. The Army was killed, so I had time with that. The other Navy man moved me out of it. So I'm proudly representing 5 people in my family.